Hey guys, Ron White here, two-time USA memory champion. First of all, I said that I was going to be announcing a project that I'm working on. I was going to make the announcement on YouTube. I'm still going to do that. We actually filmed the video announcing it, but I didn't like the video, so we're redoing it. But everything's set to go. What I'm doing is that in this book there are 6,000 pieces of information, 6,000 pieces of data in this book, and I'm memorizing them all in the order that they are in that book, and then I'm going to write them all out from memory. It's going to be intense, it's going to be big, and it's going to be huge. I recently spoke for a group, and one of the guys in the group, he said, you know, Ron, raised his hand, and he was acting like he had discovered some mystery that I had somehow overlooked all these 21 years. And I've heard this statement a lot in 21 years of teaching memory seminars. And the statement is this. The guy said, Ron, this system is more work than just memorizing the data. He said, if I want to memorize information, then I just have that one thing to memorize, the information. If I want to use the system that you're talking about, there are 5 keys to that process. There's focus, file, which is a step in my process, turning the information into a picture, using action and emotion and glue. There are 5 steps in my process: focus, file, picture, glue, review. He said, but if I want to memorize something, I just have one thing, the information. This system is more work than just memorizing the data. A lot of times when people will say that in regards to memory training, they'll say, you know what, using a memory system is more work than just memorizing the information, so I'm not going to use a memory system. That is lazy thinking, and it is incorrect thinking. Here's the analogy. You're 14, 13, 15 years old. You ride your bicycle everywhere you go. When you were 16, you were so excited because you get to drive. So you spend a month in driver's ed learning how to drive. Then you have then you study for the test and you go take the test. You got to get a job and save up money to buy a car. And then once you buy the car, you got to go get the oil changed every 3,000 miles. You got to get insurance, and you got to get registration once a year. You got to go to driver's ed. You got to save up money to buy the car. You got to put gas in. You got to check the oil in the car. You got to put air in the tires, insurance, registration, blah, blah, blah. That's a lot of stuff that you have to do. When you were 14, 15 years old, if you wanted to go somewhere, all you had to do was get on your bike and go. That's just one thing. But it would be ludicrous to suggest to a 16-year-old kid, hey, don't do all that because you got to go to driver's ed, you got to put gas in your car, blah, you got to do all these things. Just get on your bike and go. Why would it be ludicrous? Because you can't go as far and as fast, and you don't have as much freedom. You can go 500 miles in a car and maybe 20 miles on a bike before you get tired. Here's the point. Your brain is the same way. Yeah, you don't have to learn all these steps. You don't have to learn all the steps to a memory process, but you're only going to be able to go so far with your natural memory. If you will learn the steps, and I'm going to grant it, it's going to take you 2 or 3 weeks to master, but if you will invest that 2 or 3 weeks to master the system, you'll be able to memorize 6,000 pieces of information in order. You'll be able to give speeches without notes, whether the speech is 10 minutes or 10 hours. Memorize chapters of books literally word for word. Instead of memorizing your 2 or 3 favorite Bible verses, you'll be able to memorize your 2 or 3 favorite books of the Bible. Instead of memorizing the names of your favorite poems, you'll be able to memorize your favorite poems. There's a big difference between riding a bicycle and driving a car. Does it take work to drive a car? Absolutely it does. Is it worth it? Absolutely it is. Just like memory training is worth it. It's a lame excuse, a lame excuse. I'll leave you with this quote. A year from now, you will wish you had started today.